Hi everyone. Today we are going to talk about static concept in Java. Okay. So in Java, static can be, you can use this word static for a data member, which is basically a variable, or else you can use static for methods. Methods or functions can also be static. Now, what does static mean? The technical definition of static means that it belongs to the class. It belongs to the class. Now, what does this mean? This means that suppose if I have a class, let's call the class as demo, right? Now, in a class, class has basically properties and it has behavior. So, properties are nothing but your data members and your behavior is modeled in terms of methods and functions, right? So, if I have this data integer, let's say some variable a, some name, string s, right? And let's say we have different functions. So we have a function here, and let's say another function we have function 2. So these are some just pseudo code, and we have some methods here, right? Now whenever you create objects of this class, suppose I create 3 objects, object 1, object 2 and object 3. So this object 1, when you create, object 1 is going to get its separate copy for its data members and its function. That means object 1 will have a separate copy of, the variable a, s, these two are the data members, and the functions as well, right? So function 1, function 2. Object 2 will have its own copy. Object 3 will have its own copy. That means whatever data members and methods which we have here right now, these are non-static. Okay, why am I saying non-static? Because we do not have the word static in front of it, correct? So these are simple non-static members, both in terms of data members and methods. And if it's any non-static data member or non-static method, then every object which you create of the class will have its own separate copy of those members. When I say separate copy, what it means is, suppose if you say object 1 dot a equal to 2, all right, and I say object 2 dot a equal to 3. So object 1 dot a will actually change the value of a in the memory which is allocated to object 1. This memory will be different from object 2. So object 2 will have a separate memory where a data is stored, and there you will have a equal to 3. That means whatever changes you do on the data members, okay, using a particular object will be basically different from the changes you do from the other object. That means these are two different instances for this data. Okay, that is what the importance of non-static members are, right? Now what does static mean then? So suppose if I had actually created one static integer x, okay, if I had done that, then the word static means that this particular data member belongs to the class. It's a property of the class. Because it is a property of the class, there will be only one instance of this, or one copy of this member, meaning that I will only have in one memory location x will have, suppose if I say, and here this particular copy, let's give some value here, initial value, just make it here x equal to suppose 10. It's not necessary that you have to initialize a static variable when you're trying to declare it, but just for example here I'm initializing x with a value as 10. Now object 1, object 2, object 3 all are going to basically have access to this value x, but as you see, as compared to the non-static members like a and s, x is only one copy. So there's only one copy of x, and all the objects are going to share that copy of the static member, because this static member belongs to whom? It belongs to the class, right? The non-static members actually belong to the objects or the instances of the class, but the static members belong to the class. That's why it's basically the shared data which has been shared among all the instances. So having said that, suppose if I have to, because it belongs to the class, how do I access this static member? You can access this directly using the class name. So I can simply say demo.x. That means even without creating objects of the class demo, I can simply access the static members by using the class name. So demo.x. So if I make changes like this, demo.x equal to suppose 12. So now this 10 will become what? 12. Suppose obj object obj1, this object is going to try to access the value of x, it is going to see what value? It is going to see the value of 12. Why? Because whatever changes you do, because there is only one copy, okay, of this x variable, which is a static variable, all the objects are going to see the same value of this x. All right, so even if obj has to, if suppose try to access this value, is going to see the value as 12. Suppose let's say obj dot x obj dot obj2 dot x makes a value equal to 13. So this value actually becomes 13. So now this 13 is going to be seen by all the objects, right? Now, though I told you that particular static members can always be accessed using the class name, right? But that doesn't mean that, Java will not allow you to access the static members using objects. You will be allowed to use this, but this is refrained. I mean, this is not a good practice because it belongs to the class. It makes sense to use it directly with the class name. If you write something like this obj1.x, you're not going to get any error, but it is not advisable. All right, so you should directly use the static members using the class name. So this is the concept of static. So what's the difference between static and non-static? Static data members are basically you have only one copy which is shared among the objects. When it comes to non-static members, every object or every instance is going to get its own copy of the data members and methods. All right, if this is understood, let's try to understand what does static methods do. What you're going to do is we'll first understand the concept and then we'll try to understand where can this functionality be useful in a real life scenario. Okay, so let's talk about static methods. Now, as you know, static means it belongs to the class. That means methods also can be considered as static. If you have any static method, all right, so as you saw here, when you create any objects, every object is going to have its own copy of the functions as well. Right, so this will also have its own copy of functions. But in the case of static methods, you can create a method as static. Suppose if I say here, let's consider the same class. Let me just write it here, same class here, right? I can say static might be void display, right? And let's say I want to simply say that, hi, you are in demo. Right, I simply want to say that you are in demo, a simple statement. And then I have another methods. Let's say we have some methods fun and then another method is fun1, right? So just pseudo code, so I'm not completely written the syntax, right? So let's say we have this, but these are non-static, this is a static. Now, because this is a static method, the display method can be directly called using the class name. I do not have to create objects to access this. I can simply say demo.display. Okay. Second thing to notice, whatever changes, like for example, if you had here integer x suppose is a data member, and there's another data member suppose which said static int, okay, let's say y, right? Now, from this method, which is a static method, you can only access those data members which are static. Understood? Like you cannot access x inside a static method because it is non-static. So inside a static method, if you want to access the data members, only static data members can be accessed. If you do not do so, obviously you're going to get an error. Now might be some of you will have a doubt, why can't I access x from inside my display method? The reason is, think about this, display method can be accessed directly using what? The class name. Correct. Now, when you use demo.display, and let's assume we have used this value of x, might be you want to print or you want to increment something, you have used the value of x, right, inside this, which is a non-static. Tell me, can x be accessed using the class name? No, because it does not belong to class. It can only be accessed via objects, right? Now, suppose if this was not a static one, like suppose let's have a second example here. Let's write some code here. Let's say if I say void, all right, and let's say inside this function, let me simply say system.out.println. System.out.println, let's write it a little properly. So system.out.println, let me say simple x, right? Now we've seen that x is basically what? A non-static member, right? So let's create an object of this class. So we'll say demo, okay, obj equal to suppose new demo, right? So we have created an object which is the name is obj. Now when you say obj dot fun, right? Now will tell me we'll be able to access this X, you'll not get any issues. Why does it happen? Why it is allowing to access this? Because see, because this is a non-static member, actually the X which gets access is of the which object? Obj object. Because when an object is created, this object will get its own copy of what? Of its non-static members. Here I have only one non-static members which is X and the another method which is what? Fun. So because I'm saying obj.fun, okay, so obj does this X value is belonging to obj, yes. So when you say, when you, even though I have not written anything here obj dot anything, right, I have not written it, right. Even you do not write it, what happens is by whatever function, whatever object you are calling this function, that only object will be used to call the data member, correct. So that is why obj.x makes sense. But think about this, if in a static case, if you're trying to use a value of X which is non-static, the class, you cannot access it using the class name. Okay. If this is understood, right, let's talk about the scenario where you will want to use static. Think about this. Suppose if you have any class, right, suppose you say you have a student class, right. Now what we do, we create objects, right? So classes is nothing but like a blueprint, and objects or instances is when you put data inside those blueprint, you get different instances, right? Now tell me, when you are creating this, what to say, simulation of a real world, you're trying to solve problems, you're obviously going to put data, you're going to create objects and going to simulate the real world problem, right? Now obviously you would want to know how many objects or how many instances of this class have been generated so far. Right? Won't you want to know? Yes, because how many objects you have created will actually, translate to how many students you have, data record present in your code. Correct? So that means you need to somehow be able to identify or count the number of objects which have been created for this particular class. It not be only for student, but for any class. But this is a common functionality which you would want to have, right? Now tell me, if I take a count variable and if I make it non-static, will this still make sense? No, because for all the different objects you create, the value of the count will be different. Okay, what you want to do is count these instances, right? Suppose this is object 1, object 2, and this is object 3. What you want to do is, for all these objects, you want one common location of count, so that whenever you create an object, this count gets incremented. Agreed? So that means having a non-static member does not make sense. How about we create a static member so that all these objects will be sharing one location for the count. Correct? Now tell me, where should we increment this count? We should increment this count when an object is created. Obviously, when is an object created? An object is created when the constructor is called. Agreed? Whenever you create an object, you use the syntax new, name of the class, and there is an open and closing parenthesis, right? So whether it's a parameterized or a default constructor, a constructor is basically called. So what we can simply do is we can increment the count, okay, inside the constructor. Yes, if we do so, we will be basically having a count of how many, student objects have been created. That is one practical application of using a static member. So when should you use static data member? Static data member should be used when you have some shared resource or shared information which needs to be maintained across all the objects. In that case, you use a static data member. That is one point. Now, second question is, when do we then need to use static methods? Static methods, we said, again belongs to the class. Right? Now think about this. For a student class, right? One simple thing I can think is, usually the data members which are been, provided in the class are made as private, right? In terms, this is a good practice when it comes to software engineering. The reason is because the reason the data members are made private, because we want to actually make sure the data does not get manipulated and the data does not get corrupted by, programs outside this current class, right? So in that case, what we do is we make the data members always private and give access to the data members using the getters and setters option. Okay. So if we do so, tell me, if I make this private, right? Now tell me, I will have to provide a getter and a setter, right? But this is what? This is a static data, right? That means if I have to access a static data from a non-static method, is it possible? No, that is not possible. That means I will have to create a static method, which will act as a getter and a set. I mean, basic, not a setter. Setter, so you will set it in constructor, but as a getter to this get the value of count, right? So that is one case we can do. That means we need to use static methods when you want to access any static data members. That is one. Second thing is, if you have any functionality, like you want to validate, you want to add some validations on the class, or you want to provide some utilities. Utilities means something like, configurations, or, you want to provide some helper functions. Such cases, right, which do not alter the state, of your objects. I mean, the state of the object is not altered. Like, for example, when you're trying to validate, right, are you manipulating the data? No. Like, suppose if you have a data for student, you can have a data which is called as the name of the student, right, or you taking his roll number, right? So all this thing you want to have a validation check that, okay, that the name which whatever the student is giving is a valid name. How would you check valid name? If suppose you have a logic that the name should always contain only alphabets, and let's say the length of the name should not exceed 10 characters, something like that. So you can put that validation, and that validation is not manipulating the data, but rather it is like a validation, a check to check whether the data is correct or no, right? Or you will have some helper functions where you like, this is like a helper function, right, where it is basically just returning me the count of number of student objects which are created. So such, functions or such methods which are not going to actually alter or manipulate the data, okay, of the objects, in that case we can create those methods or functions as static, because they can directly be called using the class name. So this is the practical, or the practical use case where static really comes handy, right? If this is understood, let's try to, create a little bit of code. I hope so here what I have is, I have a class student, right? So I have created a private static int number of students. So this is basically, which is going to give me a count of how many objects the student class has, because that is going to translate the number of students I have. Then I have a private string name, okay? Then I have a getter and a setter for name, and then I have a method which is going to return me the total number of students. Now, because it is number of students, I want it to be basically static. And second thing is, I do not want to, call it using any object, because it does not make sense, right? It is a utility which belongs to the class. So I'm simply making it static, right? If you remove this, right, so simply making like this is static, okay? Next is what I wanted to do, like validations, right, which we spoke about. It is a small code which is going to validate whether the name which I've entered is, a valid name or not. You can find this code, I'll link it down in the description, should not be a problem. Okay, so after I do this, all I need to do is, so here if you see, in my constructor class, I have just incremented the number of students plus, right? I can simply do this. Once I do this, okay, this is my student class. Now I'm creating a demo class, a simple demo class, where I've created a public static void main, created 3 objects, right? And now I am basically calling the validation. So if this particular name is a valid name according to my particular function, which is going to return a true or a false, then I'm going to set the value, right? Simple as that. And at the end, I'm just returning the value of student.get total students, how many students it has been created. Okay, so if I run this simple class, number of students are 3, because how many objects I have? 3 objects I have. Another reason of making this as static, this particular gets total students as static, is because think about this. If I want to just find out the number of students which are, number of objects which are created for students, I do not want to access that method by creating one more object, right? It should belong to the class thing, right? So it makes more sense to use it as class. I hope this makes sense.